Astika Parva continues in 20th section. Southi said, I have recited to you the whole story how Amrita was churned out of the ocean and on the occasion on which the horse Uchais of great beauty and incomparable prowess was obtained. It was this horse about which Kadru and Vinita were saying, tell me, amiable sister, without taking much time, of what color Uchais is. And Vinita answered, the prince of the streets is certainly white. What do you think, sister? Say you, what is its color? Let us lay wager upon it. Kadru replied, then, O you of sweet smiles, I think that horse is black in its tail. Beauteous one, bet with me that she who lose will become others' slave. This is how she lied, Kadrua. Sauti continued, thus wagering with each other about the menial service as a slave. The sisters went home and resolved to satisfy themselves by examining the horse the next day. And Kadru went upon practicing a deception, ordered her 1,000 sons to transform themselves into black hair and speedily cover the horse tail in order that she might not become a slave. But her sons, the snakes, refusing to do her bidding, she cursed them, saying, during the snake sacrifice of the wise king Janamejaya of the Pandava race, Agni shall consume you all. And the grandsire, that is Brahma, himself heard this exceedingly cruel curse pronounced by Kadru, impelled by fates, and seeing that snakes have multiplied exceedingly, the grandsire, moved by kind consideration of his creatures, sanctioned with all the gods this curse of Kadru. Indeed, as the snakes were of virulent poison, great prowess, and excess of strength, and ever bent on biting other creatures, their mother's conduct towards them, those persecutors of all creatures, was very proper for good of all creatures. Fate always inflicts punishment of death on those who seek the death of other creatures. This is also for meat eaters. For the meat eaters, let me put it this way: those who eat meat, there is a mantra that says, I am killing you in this life for my food. Next life, you kill me and eat. So, meat eaters, this is for you. If you are killing an animal and eating and enjoying your food, do it. But next life, you will be the food for your victim, your food. You'll be the food for next life, for others. The gods, having exchanged such sentiments with one another, supported Kadru's action and went away. And Brahma, calling Kasyapa to him, spake unto him these words: O thou pure one who overcomest all enemies, these snakes begotten by you, who are virulent poison and huge bodies and ever intent on biting other creatures, having been cursed by their mother, O son, do not grieve for it in the list. The destruction of the snakes in the sacrifice hath indeed been ordained long ago. Saying this, the divine creator of the universe comforted Kasyapa and imparted that illustrious one the knowledge of neutralizing poison. This ends the 20th section of Astika Parva of the Adi Parva. And Astika Parva continues. It's a very huge chapter in Mahabharata. This is 21 section. Sauti said, when that night had passed away, the sun had risen in the morning, although whose wealth is asceticism. The two sisters, Kadru and Vinita, having laid a wager about slavery, went with haste and impatience to view the steed Ucheshravas from a near point. And on their way saw the ocean of receptacle of waters, vast and deep, rolling and tremendously roaring, full of fishes, large enough to swallow a whale, and abounding with huge makaras, that is crocodiles, and creatures of various forms by thousands, and rendered inaccessible by the presence of other terrible monster-shaped, dark and fierce aquatic animals, abounding with tortoises and crocodiles, the mine of all kinds of gems, the home of Varuna, or the water god, the excellent, beautiful residence of Nagas, that is the snakes, and the lord of all rivers, the abode of the subterranean fire, the friend of the Asuras, asylum of the Asuras, you can say. The terror, Asuras are the Rakshasas, the terror of all creatures, the grand reservoir of water, and ever immutable. It is wholly beneficial to the gods. Asuras is divine. Asu means sense organs, Rai is death. The one whose sense organs are dead in positive and became negative, who have no control of the senses, are the demonic people. So they are called asuras. It is dark, terrible, with the sound of aquatic creatures tremendously roaring with full of deep whirlpools. It is an object of terror to all creatures. Moved by the winds blowing from its shores and heaving high, agitated and disturbed, it seems to dance everywhere with uplifted hands, represented by surges, full swelling billows caused by the vexing and waning of the moon of the parent of Vasudeva's great conch called Panchajanya. The great mine of gems, its waters were formerly disturbed in consequences of agitation caused within them by the Lord Govinda of immeasurable prowess, when he had assumed the form of wild boar or varaha for raising the submerged earth, because it was he had to kill Hiranyaksha to get the earth out. He has submerged earth in water, its bottom lower than the nether regions. The observing regenerate Rishi Atri could not fathom after toiling 100 years. It became bed of lotus naveled Vishnu when the termination of every yuga. The deity of immeasurable prowess enjoys yoga nidra, this deep sleep under the spell of spiritual meditation. It is a refuge of Mainaka, the fearful of the falling of thunder, and the retreat of the Asuras overcame in fierce encounters. It offers a water of sacrificial butter to the blazing fire issuing from the mouth of Varava or the ocean mare. It is fathomless and without limits, vast and immeasurable, and a lot of rivers. And they saw unto it rushed mighty rivers by thousands and with poured gate, like amorous competitors, with eager for meeting and forestalling the others. And they saw it where it was always full and always dancing in its waves. And they saw that it was deep and abounding fierce whales and makaras, and it resounded constantly with terrible sounds and aquatic creatures. When they saw it was vast, wide expanse of space, unfathomable, limitless, and grand reservoir of water. And this ends the 21st section of Astika Parva of Adi Parva. The 22nd section of Astika Parva continues. So he said the Nagas, after consultation, arrived at the conclusion that they should do their mother's bidding. For if she failed in obtaining her desire, she might withdraw her affection and burn them all. If, on the other hand, she was graciously inclined, she might free from her curse. They said, she will certainly render the horse. We will certainly render the horse tail black. And it is said that they then went to become heirs of the horse tail. Now the co-wives had laid the wager. And having laid the wager, O best of Brahmanas, the two sisters Kadru and Vinita, the daughters of Daksha, proceeded in great delight along the sky to see the other side of the ocean. On their way, they saw the ocean, that receptacle of waters, incapable of being easily disturbed, mightily agitated all of a sudden by wind, roaring tremendously, abounding with fishes capable of swallowing the whale, full of makaras containing also creatures of diverse forms, counted by thousands, frightful from the patience to the presence of horrible monsters, inaccessible, deep, and terrible, the mime of all kinds of gems, the home of Varuna, the wonderful habitations of Nagas, the lord of rivers, abode of subterranean fire, the residence of the Asuras were many dreadful creatures, the reservoir of water not subject to decay, aromatic and wonderful, a great source of Amrita, of the celestials, immeasurable and inconceivable, containing waters of the holy, filled to the brim by many thousands of great rivers, dancing as if it were in waves. Such was the ocean, full of rolling waves, vast as the expanse of sky, deep of body, lighted with the flames of subterranean fire and roaring, which sisters quickly passed over. This ends the 22nd section of Astika Parva of Adi Parva. The 23rd section of Astika Parva continues. So he said, Having crossed the ocean, Kadru of swift speed, accompanied by Vinita, soon alighted near the horse. Then they both beheld the foremost streets of great speed, with the body white as the rays of the moon, but having black hairs in the tail. And observing many black hairs in the tail, Kadru put Vinita, who was deeply dejected, into slavery, and thus Vinita, having lost the wager, entered into a state of slavery and became exceedingly sorry. In meantime, when his time came, to burst forth from the egg without help of his mother Garuda. Garuda of great splendor, enkindling all the points of the universe, that mighty being endued with strength, that is capable of assuming any form at will, of going at will any everywhere, and of calling to his aid at will any measure of energy. Effluent like a heap of fire, is shown terribly of luster equal to that of the fire at the end of the Yuga. His eyes were bright like lightning flash, and soon after birth the bird grew in size, and increasing his body ascended to the skies, fierce and vehemently roaring. He looked like a terrible a second ocean fire. And the deities seeing him sought the protection of Vibha- Vibhavasu, that is Agni or fire, and they bowed down to the deity of manifold forms seated on his seat and spake to him these words: O Agni, extend not only your body will thou consume us. Lo, this huge heap of thy flames is spreading wide. And Agni replied, O ye persecutors of the Asuras, it is not as ye imagine. This is Garuda, great strength and equal to me in splendor, endued with great energy and born to promote the joy of Vinita. Even the sight of this heap of defluence hath caused his delusion in you. He is mighty son of Kashyapa, the destroyer of Nagas, engaged in the well-being of gods and the foe of the deities and the Rakshasas. Be not afraid of it in the least. Come with me and see. He thus addressed a god from a distance. The god said, You are a rishi, one cognizant with all the mantras, share of the largest portion in sacrifices, ever resplendent, the controller, along with Rishi, wended their way towards Garuda and adorned him of birds, presiding spirit of the animate and inanimate and universe. Thou art the destroyer of all, creator of all, thou art the very Hiranya Garbha, thou art the progenitor of creation in the form of Daksha and other Prajapatis, thou art Indra, the king of the gods, thou art Hayagriva, the steed necked incarnation of Vishnu, thou art the arrow, Vishnu himself, as he became such in the hands of Mahadeva, the burning of the Tripura. Thou art the Lord of universe, thou art the mouth of Vishnu, thou art the four-faced Padmaja, thou art the Brahma, thou art Brahmana, the wise, thou art Agni, Pavana, that is the presiding deity of every object in the universe. Thou art the knowledge, thou art the illusion to which we are all subject. Thou art the all pervading spirit, thou art the Lord of the gods, thou art the great truth. Thou art fearless, thou art ever unchanged, thou art without attributes, the Brahma, thou art the energy of the sun, thou art the intellectual functions, thou art our great protector, thou art the ocean of holiness, thou art purity, thou art bereft of attributes of darkness, thou art the possessor of six high attributes, thou art who cannot be withstood in contest. From thee have emanated all things, thou art of excellent deeds, thou art all that had not been and that had been. Thou art of pure knowledge, thou art displayed to us as Surya does by his rays. This animate and inanimate universe, thou darkenest the splendor of Surya at every moment. And thou art the destroyer of all, thou art all that is perishable and that is imperishable. Thou art resplendent as Agni, thou burnest all even as Surya in his anger burneth all creatures. O terrible one, thou resist even as a fire that destroys everything at the time of universal dissolution. O mighty Garuda, who movest in the skies, we seek thy protection. O Lord of birds, thy energy is extraordinary. Thy splendor is the fire, thy brightness is like the lightning that no darkness can approach. Thou reachest the very clouds, thou art both the cause and the effect, the dispenser of boons, and invincible in prowess. O Lord, this earth universe is rendered hot by thy splendor, bright as the luster of heated gold. Protect these high souled gods who overcame by thee and terrified withal are flying along the heavens in different directions on their celestial cars. O thou best of birds, thou Lord of all, thou art the son of the merciful and high-souled Rishi Kashyapa. Therefore be not wroth by thee, but have mercy on the universe. Thou art supreme, O pacify thy anger and preserve us. At thy voice, loud as the roar of the thunder, the 10 points, the skies, the heavens, the earth, and our hearts, O bird, thou art continuously shaking, O diminish this thy body resembling Agni. The sight of the splendor resembling of that Yama, when in wrath our hearts lose all equanimity. O quake and quake, O thou Lord of birds, be propitious to us who solicit thy mercy. O illustrious one, bestow on us good fortune and joy. And that bird of fair feathers, thus adorned by the deities, diverse sections of rishis reduce his own energy and splendor. This ends the 23rd section of Astika Parva of Adi Parva. So, this is how Garuda's splendor has been described in Mahabharata. 24th section, I would continue in another video. I would end here the stream.